found itself in danger of being overshadowed by Canelo's feud with his former promoter Oscar De La Hoya. The two had been engaged in a bitter war of words for years, but it was always passive-aggressive and never direct. But this time, perhaps seeing an opportunity to play mind games with Canelo as he was facing his fighter in Munguia, when it was Oscar's turn to speak, he took the stage and told everyone exactly what's been on his mind for years.
My sole purpose in this promotion is to support Jaime, an undefeated, incredible talent who deserves the stage and spotlight at this point of his career. However, I would be remiss if I didn't respond to the man I used to promote. He seems to have trouble remembering who helped him become a true global star. To be clear, I have nothing but respect for Canelo Alvarez as a fighter. His record and abilities speak for themselves. But he has spent much of the last 2 months insulting me rather than promoting this fight. So I'll make it a little bit easier for him. Yes.
Yo, you could tell he was about to say some bullshit, yo.
I have faced a lot of challenges in my life. Yes, I've been to rehab several times.
Yes, I was on that coke, boy.
Yes, there were some really low points in my life, and yes, there were times that work was not my priority based on my mental health, which I had neglected for so long. But that doesn't change the fact that Golden Boy built Canelo Alvarez, period. The company you fought under for decades has always had one name, and it's mine. So put some respect on it.
Hold on.
This outburst triggered Canelo, and he decided that now was as good a time as any to just let it rip.
He doesn't believe that what De La Hoya said was warranted, and where he thinks that with the Golovkin fight that there were some things that Mr. De La Hoya said or did that
he tried to steal money, and
yeah.
that's what I say. He tried to.
You know he's mad when you got him talking English, nigga. Holy, he said, fuck all that Spanish shit. Y'all niggas gonna have to understand what I'm saying to you. He's stealing money.
To keep the attention for him, not for Munguia. He steals his fighters. That's what he do.
Okay, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. Go ahead, Miguel.
Whoa!
All right.
Whoa!
So now the dust is...
Respectfully, let's get to the bullshit, bro.
Golden Boy into a powerhouse and arguably the best promotional company in all of boxing. But 2014 would also be the Floyd Mayweather and Al Heyman. So when Oscar came back from rehab, completely oblivious to the fact and decided to continue doing
like some
business
bullshit
with
about
Arum, that created a huge rift within the company. And Richard Schaefer was forced out as CEO, but he took a lot of fighters with him, notably fighters that were advised by Al Heyman. And it was some big names too, like Adrian Broner and Danny Garcia. And a lot of these fighters ended up at Al Heyman's Premier Boxing Champions, which was founded the following year. And
alright, so I'm assuming if I skipped and y'all watching, y'all still confused. Oscar De La Hoya went to rehab. He was doing bad business, fucking people money up. And his company his boxers got bought out and signed with the same promotional company, I think Floyd Mayweather. And if I'm not mistaken, that's AB and Canelo and a couple other fighters.
Naturally, Oscar came to the conclusion that Richard Schaefer was in cahoots with Al Heyman and helped him poach his fighters. He ended up suing both, eventually settling with Schaefer and losing to Al Heyman. This came very close to wiping Golden Boy out completely, and the only thing that saved it was the fact that his biggest superstar, Canelo, decided to stay loyal and not leave.
Oh, so no, Canelo still with him, but everybody else dipped. Adrian Broner and all them other people left. Canelo still loyal. You screwed over the nigga that's still loyal to you? Nah, hold on.
Fue Richard Schaefer de Golden Boy. Se llevó a todos los peleadores a PBC.
And you and Richard were close. Yeah.
Se los llevó a todos y a mí también me quiso llevar y fue el único peleador que se quedó en Golden Boy porque yo soy un hombre leal. Pero entonces después.
He's saying he's the only boxer that stood. If I'm blocking. He said he was the only boxer that stood in Golden Boy, still loyal, and everybody else dipped out on Oscar De La Hoya.
Pues entendí por qué se fueron todos y por qué se fue Richard Schaefer.
This was the ultimate act of friendship because not only could Canelo have easily made much more money, he also was much more used to working with Richard Schaefer as Oscar was never around due to his issues.
Él no es Golden Boy. Él no hace nada en Golden Boy. Porque él se está preocupando en tomar y andar en otras cosas y eso. Él no es Golden Boy.
But according to Canelo, this was not appreciated at all, and what's more, during several different situations, Golden Boy would make Canelo and his team financially liable in order to cut costs for themselves. And sometimes they would keep him out of the loop altogether in order to make decisions behind his back, essentially taking his kindness and loyalty for weakness and treating him like a dummy.
Teníamos una demanda en Miami que yo sabía que le íbamos a ganar porque estaban mintiendo todo. Total, la ganamos la demanda, pero el jurado determinó que sí, que no estaba bajo contrato, pero tenía que darle $8 millones. Pero antes de eso, cuando yo firmé, antes de la pelea de Cotto con Golden Boy, quedé en un acuerdo con ellos. Y ahí me di cuenta que solo se preocupaban por ellos, no por mí.
Explain what happened where you were stripped of your belt because Golden Boy was unable to reach an agreement.
Querían que decidiera o que fuera una subasta y pues no podía porque estaba en medio de un juicio. No podía, entonces no, pues que me lo quiten, no tengo problema que me lo quiten. El otro que me quitaron, a mí nunca me dijo Golden Boy que me lo iban a quitar y eso fue mi enojo.
And over the years, this, along with the fact that Oscar wasn't involved the way Canelo felt like he should be, caused the two to drift apart. But that was almost all forgotten in 2018 when Canelo, Golden Boy, and a new network at the time called DAZN signed a historic $365 million contract. Initially, all three parties were satisfied, but very soon that same deal would become the final nail in the coffin of the relationship between Canelo Alvarez and Oscar De La Hoya. Golden Boy went behind Canelo's back for a final time and made a separate contract with DAZN guaranteeing that he would rematch Gennady Golovkin, and DAZN used this guarantee to secure a deal with Gennady Golovkin. The problem was Canelo himself wasn't aware of this and never contractually agreed to it, so he opted to fight Sergey Kovalev instead. And during the build-up to the fight, there was an obvious air of bitterness between him and De La Hoya, with Canelo even telling the media that the relationship between the two was now strictly business and not personal at all. Canelo ended up suing both DAZN and Golden Boy over the matter and ultimately ended up being released from his contract. He alleged that when his lawyers audited Golden Boy, it was found that he was owed several million. And after him and Gennady Golovkin finally had their third fight, Triple G also sued Golden Boy, alleging that they owed him money.
Bro, they just sound like they doing bad business. Yo, Canelo, why they making fun of your hairline, gang? That's fucked up. Yeah, this is crazy. So he thought it was a one-fight deal, I'm assuming, but they signed for him to fight the same person twice without him knowing for a rematch. Yo, these niggas, man. But they did that so they can guarantee a contract with this man, who they still, at the end of the day, they screwed over Triple G, which is this man.
Explain how it works where Golden Boy contractually agrees with DAZN that you're going to fight Triple G, yet your contract with Golden Boy doesn't state that you have to fight Triple G.
Era totalmente otra cosa. Pero yo en mi contrato dije, sí, ok, las peleas es por tanto, pero si peleo con Golovkin, o si vuelvo a pelear con Golovkin, con Mayweather o con un hombre así, pues es a negociar.
Exactly.
Porque no voy a pelear por la misma cantidad.
He's saying if it's a big fight, that they're gonna have to renegotiate that, because you fighting Floyd versus you fighting a fighter nobody know, it's not gonna make the same money, bro. You fighting Floyd, you're gonna make like 10 times more versus you fighting somebody they don't know. So they basically paid him a big fight like he was fighting a little fight. That's some bullshit.
Lo negociamos, pero no. Golden Boy ya le había prometido y había firmado a DAZN de que yo iba por seguro a pelear con Golovkin por la misma cantidad. Y nunca me lo dijeron. Yo hice totalmente otro contrato. Yo hice mi contrato a mi favor siempre.
Right.
Pero lo que yo le quise demostrar a todos los latinos, demandé a Dizon y a Golden Boy juntos.
He sued both
Imagínate
of them.
lo grande que es eso. Nadie se anima a hacer eso. Y si tú sabes que hiciste las cosas bien, no tienes por qué temer hacer un movimiento de esa magnitud. ¿Por qué? Porque tú sabes que vas a ganar siempre. Porque tú hiciste las cosas bien.
And during the past couple of years, Canelo would throw shots at Oscar, and Oscar would throw back shots at Canelo, but during the Jaime Munguia press conference, it all came pouring out. Once Oscar took the band-aid off, Canelo let loose with all the frustration and anger he's felt for years.
And he said you're defaming him basically because it's defamation.
No, senor. I'm not defaming. I have the proofs. I have proofs. I put my lawyers in, and he tried to steal money. I have proofs.
What are you going to do next with this?
I don't want to do anything against that kind of guys. I don't want that vibes. I don't really give a shit about Oscar. But if he says something here in my territory, I need to say something, right?
What did you say to him when you faced up against him?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I was so angry.
Ultimately, this was a matter of the two viewing their relationship in completely different ways. Canelo, who's built his career around loyalty, viewed...
But knowing all of this and then getting to that stage and Oscar's talking like he was the one that had Canelo's back and how dare you, but I would have popped on him, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Canelo, why are you wasting your time talking? Just crack him, hit him with some fire.
Oscar like family, and Oscar viewed him like a client. Canelo felt like he saved Oscar and Golden Boy several times and did several personal favors for him, and Oscar didn't even acknowledge it. And finding out that in addition to that, Oscar was also doing business behind his back and withholding money from him was the ultimate slap in the face. Canelo felt like he was betrayed by a friend, and Oscar looked at it like a miscommunication with a business associate. And I know I built the case for Canelo being in the right here, but it's only because I chose to make this video from his perspective. The truth is, there's a compelling case to be made for Oscar if we look at it from his point of view too. He was dealing with a lot of personal issues, and if him and Canelo were friends, surely he felt a lack of support.
Bro, I think if you have a business, despite the personal issues you got, bro, you gotta be on your shit. Cause if that's the case, give the business to somebody else to run. Don't throw a bomb and then run out the room, nigga. This is your business, bro. You handle that shit.
Support and understanding, and I'm sure he didn't appreciate being mocked for it either during the Jaime Munguia press conference. At the end of the day, this has been building up for many years, and there's enough history there for it to never be resolved. As they say, some beef is everlasting, and this is definitely an example of that.
But it's so crazy when we talk about loyalty in the sport of boxing. When we talk about loyalty, when you look at Canelo, there's Steven Espinoza and the Showtime team let this, and myself, we helped build this guy up. He was fighting on my undercard. He was the co-main. We helped build this guy up. And you know what Oscar De La Hoya do? You know what Mr. Loyal Oscar De La Hoya do? I'm sorry, Miss Disloyal Oscar De La Hoya do? He take him right over to HBO and cut a deal with HBO. And when he cut the deal, he got money, but I bet Canelo didn't see none.
Damn.
But these are the things that people don't know about in a sport of boxing. Because Al Heyman was a smart, shrewd businessman. They want to sue him because he was smart. You know, all we believe in, we work smarter, not harder.
Alright, bro. Now, why everybody hate you?